management. So basically, it's to be a self-motivated person who knows how to commercialize his or her arts. And we see that a lot with artists, especially in today's time, using your brand, using yourself as your brand, using your art as your brand. And that's what street entrepreneurialism really is. It's to motivate yourself to be self-employed and to educate through the art you practice. So if you're in every element of hip hop uses street entrepreneurialism in some degree, because you're always trying to use yourself and your art to brand yourself and to make yourself a business, basically. And that's what all of this means. And this time in 2020, we use that with social media. So you have artists that use YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and now TikTok to be able to broaden their brand and make a name for themselves, make themselves a household name simply through social media. And that's basically what street entrepreneurialism is being able to use yourself as your brand and profit off of that. And many artists have done this. I would say probably every artist that you know and love does this every single day by using social media. And that's something we can jump into later. I will want to dive deep into branding yourself and how I do that and why it's important as well. Well, actually, we can jump into that now. Well, basically, to brand yourself and how I do that and to use my own way of entrepreneurship is by first you want to have a niche, something that you are passionate about, something that can draw in a very specific kind of audience. So for me, my audience is usually pageant-based, dance-based, performing arts, or beauty or glam or something like that. So you take those passions that you have and you make a platform based off of that. So then from there, you're able to brand yourself. And then hopefully you can profit off of that because you're branding yourself. I have a YouTube channel. I use Instagram. I use TikTok. I use Twitter. All ways to brand myself and to get my name out there so I can pursue the entertainment industry, which is what I want to do as I get older and fulfill my dreams. So branding yourself is really important and the key part to the hip hop culture and just the culture in general, as in wanting to pursue any career that you have that's based in the entertainment industry. Yeah, so when I started working at Walt Disney World, or when I start realizing that I wanted to use my performing arts background and make it a career, I auditioned at Disneyland. There was about over 500 girls auditioning for the parades and shows, and I was there for about 6 hours auditioning, and I finally got it. So that was about 5 years ago, and I still work there today. And tackling being a dancer in the entertainment industry can be really hard because you are, like I said, you're your own brand. You are an entrepreneur in some way. Obviously, as a dancer at Disney, I still am working for someone else, or you're auditioning for a music video, which in turn is working for someone else. So people can argue that it's not entrepreneurship in that way, but at the same time it is, because you're branding yourself. You are the art. You are the product. So for me, when I auditioned for Disney, I felt like I was branding myself. I had to go into the audition in a certain way, show them who I was so that I could get picked at the end of the day so I can work at Disneyland as a dancer. And that is so important, to be able to know how to brand yourself and how you want to brand yourself, because that's what street entrepreneurialism is at the end of the day. So if you have any questions, if you're watching this, about pageants or Disneyland, working at Disney as a dancer, please ask those questions below, because that would be great. I'd love to answer anything you might be wondering. Go wave. Hello. Hello. Hi. So basically, your art speaks for yourself. Your art speaks for yourself. And what I mean by that is whether you're a dancer, an actor, a musician, your art will speak for itself. And that to me is the biggest gift of all. And that's how you truly brand yourself and be able to work for yourself and become an entrepreneur, because people gravitate to talent, people gravitate to hard work, people gravitate to consistency. So if you are in the performing arts or visual arts, then I think that once you understand that your art speaks for itself, then that's when you can fully grasp the idea of being able to brand yourself. We have a question. Do you have a contract? Or are you considered an independent contractor? We as the musicians at Disneyland are under contract. Me as a dancer, I'm not under contract, so I would be considered an independent contractor. So in that way, it's like being an entrepreneur in a sense. So I am an independent contractor, and most of my friends are in the dance entertainment industry out here in California. Some of them have agencies, some of them don't. Some of them go to these auditions through their own will without having an agency that they're signed to. So when I mean in that sense, it's like you are branding yourself. You are going to these auditions. You are making those brand deals yourself. You're posting and you're engaging with people just so you can make those connections as Imani, as myself. And that's basically what my whole career has been as a performer and as someone in the entertainment industry. So yes, to wrap around to your question, I'm technically an independent contractor. They do have contracts at Disney, but my job is not one of them. Hello, waving to new visitors. If you just jumped in, I'm Imani Blackman, Miss Washington USA 2020, and I'm just wrapping up the conversation of the 9 elements of hip hop with street entrepreneurialism. And I'm taking a turn in it and talking about my own personal experiences with entrepreneurship and why it's important, especially if you are looking to be able to work for yourself or looking to navigate the entertainment industry as I have as a dancer, or if you're an actress or whatever you choose to do in the entertainment industry, how to navigate that. So if you do have any questions about performing or working in the professional industry, please ask below and I'll gladly answer those questions for you. When reading about street entrepreneurialism, it shows you that it's the readiness to engage in creation of a business venture that brings business practices. So I love how they said the readiness, because you do have to be ready to do this. It's a difficult mindset to think about not working for someone else, but making those connections for yourself and for yourself only. But the readiness is such an important part of entrepreneurialism and entrepreneurship as a whole. When I had actually asked some people on my personal Instagram to send in questions if they had any, so I'm just gonna read those and answer those questions from people that asked me questions about this live that I was doing. So one of the questions was, how did you figure out how you wanted to be an entrepreneur through dance? Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I have been dancing my whole entire life, so I've always known that I wanted to continue that passion and use it as a career. I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I knew I wanted to always be dancing. So when I auditioned for Disney and I got it, I was like, okay, this is what it feels like to work in the industry. This is what it feels like to be stable and work in the industry. As a performer and have a stable job dancing, which has been a dream come true. I absolutely love working with the Walt Disney Company and at Disneyland. And how I continue to try to be an entrepreneur is by just, like I said, branding myself. And new viewer, hi. By branding myself and going on auditions and taking classes and just being able to put my name out there. That way one day I can be able to fully work for myself and be my own brand, which is what is so important if you're looking to be in this industry. The next question I got is, what does street entrepreneurialism mean to you? I think what's so cool about street entrepreneurialism, oh, hello, is that we used to live in a time where everything was based off of going to school, and they are borrowing money to be able to go to school, and we find ourselves in this same routine like this, and we're taught that life is supposed to go like this. So what's so cool about street entrepreneurialism is that now all you need is the spirit. All you need is the spirit to grow by yourself and to brand yourself. And you don't necessarily need the same tools that maybe our parents or our grandparents thought that we needed to have by doing the same exact steps. There's so many different ways to be an entrepreneur now and to brand yourself because social media is so prevalent. So that's what it really means to me. Is entrepreneurship is being your own boss, branding yourself, and all that jazz. We have a question. When you started developing your brand, did you create a logo for yourself? I actually do have a logo, but it's like a little cartoon picture of myself. And I want my brand to be me. So my name is Imani Nia Blackman, but I changed my Instagrams and my name to Imani Nia because I just liked how it sounded. Imani means faith and Nia means purpose. So I love that how my first and middle name have meaning to it. So that's how I kind of wanted to brand myself. So my name's usually Imani Nia, and then or I go by INB, or I use my cartoon edit of my face, because at the end of the day, my face is my brand. As Ms. Washington, this is who I am, and I have a YouTube channel, and that is what's going to be my way of entrepreneurship, is through my YouTube and my self-brand. Faith and purpose, how amazing. Thank you. Yeah, my mom actually, she didn't even know my first name is the 7th day of Kwanzaa, and my middle name is the 5th day of Kwanzaa, which she didn't know at the time. She got my name from a movie that Janet Jackson was in, and her daughter was named Imani. But yeah, I've always loved my name. I love that it has meaning and purpose to it. I think it's so cool, and it's something. Purpose and faith are two things that I think I've chosen to live my life by. Having purpose and having faith that I can fulfill my purpose. So I think my name is incredible because it comes full circle, basically. But yeah, thank you for that question about branding yourself. I think also when you are branding yourself, it is important to have a logo. It is important to have maybe if you have a saying or a motif, and a motif is something that's like repetitive, something that the viewers know that it's you. That so when I talk, or when you see that logo, you see that, oh, that's Imani Nia. Ooh, that's cool. That's Imani. So you do want to brand yourself something that's very specific. You carry it well. Oh, thank you so much. Another question, and is it important to be consistent with your names on all platforms? You know, I do think it's important. It's a little tricky, especially because you are going to come across people having the handle that you want. For instance, I would love to have my handle be Imani Nia, but if you follow me on my personal Instagram, it's Imani_Blackman, which is my last name. And I made that account before I realized I would like to go by Imani Nia. And right now, Imani Nia is taken. So if you get to the point where you want to, file some paperwork so you can take over that handle, then by all means, I think go ahead and do that, because it's so much easier to search someone up if you are just one name. My YouTube channel is Imani Nia. When you click on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, it does say Imani Nia, but the handle itself is Imani_Blackman. I think it's so much easier to be consistent. It's better to be consistent. It's not always easy because people do have handles that they've already have had before you thought of your name or thought of your handle or your name that you wanted to go by. But I do think if you can be consistent on all platforms, because it's just easier that way. Like my TikTok name is, I don't even know, because I don't use TikTok that often, but it has like Imani Nia 7 or something, like that's not being consistent. So you don't want to do that. You want to try to be consistent, and I'm trying to work on that, just so it's easier to find me and my brand. But yeah, that was a great question. If you have any more, please send them my way. In the meantime, I'll read another question that I received from my personal Instagram account. It says, oh, actually just answered that one. But I'll just continue. Basically it says, how do you tackle being able to be your own brand? It definitely takes a lot of work, and patience is key. I started my YouTube channel and about some months ago, and it moves kind of slow because you're still trying to find your niche, trying to find what people or your viewers or your subscribers would like. So it definitely takes patience and consistency to be able to be an entrepreneur and build your own brand. Definitely takes consistency and patience, and that's something that I'm still working on, because I'm thinking, oh, like I have a good amount of followers on Instagram, that should transfer to my YouTube channel. It just doesn't work that way. Every platform, social media platform, works differently. So you are just going to have patience to be able to be an entrepreneur. And many of the hip hop artists that you know and love today and in the past have all had patience to be able to do what they do, to be able to be these street entrepreneurs like we know and love today. So patience is key. If I can give any of you any advice, it would be have patience and be consistent if you want to fall into the street entrepreneurialism subject and topic. Alrighty. Oh, hello. Oh, except patience, yes. Having patience is really important. So if you have any more questions, I'll be on here just for a little while, a little bit longer. Please send those questions my way and I can answer those for you. The last question I got on my personal Instagram was, how do you use pageants to be able to be an entrepreneur and brand yourself? And pageants to me is a perfect way to do so, because you're given the title. So I'm Miss Washington USA, and I get to basically choose what I do with this title. I use my voice, I use my platform, and my brand is being Miss Washington USA. So having this title has allowed me to amplify my voice, because now I have this platform that I can speak on. So people may not necessarily listen to Imani alone, but they'll listen to Miss Washington USA. So pageants has definitely helped me be able to use my voice, amplify my voice, use my sash as a microphone, and be able to brand myself and have my sense of own entrepreneurship. So yeah, those were the questions I got from my own personal Instagram. And thank you for your questions as well. If you have any more, I can wait around here to see if you have any more questions about street entrepreneurialism, entrepreneurship, or branding yourself as a whole. And if you have any more personal questions, you can find me at Imani_Blackman, or you can find me at Miss Wa USA. I have another question. Does the pageant organization put any restrictions on you? We definitely have, we do have rules and regulations. As title holders, we do sign contracts. So there are restrictions. But as for if you're asking about using my voice and what I can and cannot talk about, actually no. I'm under the Miss Universe organization. So later this year I will compete for Miss USA. And if I were to become Miss USA, I would go compete for Miss Universe. So the Miss Universe organization is what all of this is under. And they do not restrict us from speaking our mind and standing up for what's right, and restrictions in that way. I and with my other sister title holders have been to protest. We have been using our voice to fight for what is right. So they don't put any restrictions on us when talking about important issues or honestly branding ourselves either. They're totally open to just allowing us to be our true authentic self. And that's what I love most about being a part of the Miss Universe organization and being Miss Washington USA. There are pageants that do restrict their ladies from speaking out and talking and posting certain things. But as far as the organization that I'm with, Miss USA, they do not. And I'm really thankful for that, because we're able to use our title and our year to not only help others and advocate, and we're also able to advocate for important issues that we love, along with helping our personal brand. So I think that's what's so great about it, is that not only am I able to use my platform and go to events and represent my community and help my community in a lot of ways as a title holder, but I'm also able to help myself and set myself up in a way that even after this title, I have a voice and a platform to be able to help my career in the long run. So yeah, that was a great question. That's so great. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Thank you for asking. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for all engaging. Like I said, you can follow me at Miss Wa USA, or you can follow me at Imani_Blackman. You can ask me any questions through messaging. I also send out autograph cards if you want one of those. A question: do you teach dance? I actually don't, not right now. When I was a little bit younger, I used to teach dance, but I'm open to teaching dance. I've taught dance before, but my year as Miss Washington has been pretty busy. Well, before the pandemic, but it's been pretty busy with the events, appearances, traveling, and also virtual opportunities as well. So I haven't taught dance, but in a long time, but I have taught dance before. I love working with kids because I'm still a performer myself. I'm still being taught, which I think is so cool about dancing and any performing arts, that you're never done learning. So I love that I still am a dancer and perform and audition and do shows and parades, and so I'm still constantly learning. But I would love to teach dance. I would love to teach with Arts Corps. I love working with kids and educating them about dance, educating them about performing in visual arts, and branding yourself. So yeah, but thank you for that question. I think that is all the questions. I think I'll wrap this up. Great job, and thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for engaging and listening. I hope you learned a little bit about street entrepreneurialism, learned about street entrepreneurship at all, branding yourself, a little bit about myself and my personal background with dance and pageants, and thank you for watching. And like I said, you can make sure to follow me at Miss Y USA. Follow my journey as I compete for Miss USA this year sometime. I don't have a date or location because the pandemic is still going on. So once I get that news, I'll definitely post that so you can watch me on TV compete for Miss USA and represent the lovely and beautiful state of Washington.